Alrighty, I want to welcome you back to another video from Yates Computers Tips and Reviews. So, this will be the new year, new videos, new subjects. This year I'm going to cover a lot of gaming subjects and high performance systems, along with this subject, security. And I consider this to be security and best practices. Not as in security, as in hardware security, firewalls, this and that. This is more of an in-depth of knowing more of security terms and knowing what is going on, making sure you're safe, keeping sure your data is safe, making sure you're following best practices and doing best things to keep your life and everybody in your life and around your life safe. So, for this video, I wanted to target a very specific term you will probably hear a lot. You've probably heard a lot. And it is told to you in a very specific way that is not the full, broad way that this word is. It is social engineering. You will hear a lot of things being done, hacks, ransomware, email phishing, everything is related to social engineering. You will hear this term a lot. Social engineering is a weird concept, because what it is learning about you, your habits, what you do, and what you look at, and all of that is what social engineering is. And figuring out your habits, what you do, what you post, all of those type of things, then makes it possible for someone to design an attack vector towards you or your operation or whatever information they're trying to get. So, want to thank everybody for tuning in, and say pause this video now, head on over and hit subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of content this year, and a lot of this content is very important. So let's get back to social engineering. I have mentioned a lot of these factors in a lot of videos. Your social engineering is a lot of weird subjects. You will have people on a database. I have mentioned about, if you've watched the phishing videos, about how people will send you emails sending you to bad links like power companies, school sites, saying, oh, you need to log in, get this information. There's a critical message to you, log in, and you try to log in and it's not a legitimate site. There is a lot of things that go on with this. I have lots of videos about this part of the subject, about understanding your URLs, understanding about fake sites, understanding about how people can clone sites and do other things and redirect you, man-in-the-middle attacks. All of these things come into play with your passwords. They collect all this information and they sell it. So it's kind of a weird thing I've mentioned before on some of these videos. How these attackers and how these people try to collect this data because the data is worth money. Your phone number, people, you get the phone calls where they just try to see if you answer, say hello, whatever it is, to see if that's a valid number. They form a database. They sell that database. The next thing they do is someone will buy that database. Maybe 50 people buy that database. That database, then someone tries to call and figure out, is it a male or a female who answers the phone? That's critical information to a lot of people, because now you can try to target those type of people due to what their gender is. Is it a child who answers the phone? Is it a business who answers the phone? Because you answer, hey, thank you for calling such and such, so they know the business. They form that database. They sell that database out. It's worth more because there's more information than they originally paid. They add that data, someone else buys that data. So when it goes on and on and on. So this can go through 300, 400, 500 different malicious people to collect this information, this social engineering. Anything you post on Facebook, social media, anything you put out on the internet, any public records, tickets, you've been arrested, news articles, you're out talking about the floods in your town and you're in the news. Anything, anybody can reference that information, because now they have a phone number, they have your name, they have a location. You give them a lot of information. Oh, I live in Los Angeles on 16th Street, and every time you come down here, it floods because it's raining. Okay, well now, anybody that had that information knows you live on 16th Street. They know you live in Los Angeles. They know the cross sections because you just told them all this information. This is all considered social engineering. So now they can actually target you through phishing, scams, even sending something in the mail. There is a lot of cross stuff where they will send you stuff in the mail. Hey, you need to go to this website and pay your bill. Well, a lot of people still consider classic old-fashioned mail being secure. They don't consider that, oh, this might be malicious. They don't look at the postmark. Where did it come from? Who sent it? Is this junk mail? Is this coming from China? What's the mailing stamp? Nobody looks at a lot of these things. So there's a lot of things that go on that can still happen. This is all social engineered. So you hear a lot of these terms, but they'll pinpoint one little part of it as being a social engineered. And social engineering can be, there was just a breach last year in casinos. I'm seeing the story about. That is considered a social engineered attack because it's targeted against a certain group of businesses or an organization. And how did they do that? It's through the social engineering. Talked about a YouTuber that had his YouTube site taken down because they sent him someone in the organization an email. He supposedly clicked on a link. That link accessed some stuff, and they got access to the system, and they went in and took out some stuff and changed some stuff, and I'm sure everybody heard that. This is all through social engineering. They know he's a marketing guy. They know he deals with contracts because they've gone to that business's site and see who they contact for what. Of course, they're a YouTuber. They have lots of videos out there. Lots of content out there about their organization and who he is there. They've seen him in these videos. They know who to target. They know how he speaks because they hear his voice. They see how he words things. This is all social engineering. So this is the weird catch-22 there is today. People like me and my parents and their grandparents are different than people being born today or younger generations. Yeah, I have Facebook and I have other things. I share family trips, photos, type of things. Of course, I have my YouTube. My YouTube is not really personal information. I have some little bits from some of the trips because I thought it was technical enough and interesting enough to be interesting, to get into some of the tech to see how some of that overcrossed. But I don't have all of my private business out there public. And nowadays, a lot of people do. All the younger kids, they go out to the lake, they go out to the pools, and they're streaming everything, they're broadcasting everything. And it's hard because it may not be you doing it. And I brought this up on Facebook because it was kind of an interesting subject when I was doing research, doing studying for certifications, getting caught up on all the current tech about learning about all the Facebook breaches and why people are taking over people's Facebook accounts. This is all social engineering. And I mentioned, it may not be that someone wants to take access to your Facebook to get your Facebook information. It's because you're friends with other people that they need your account to see their account. So they can take over their account to try to get to maybe their boss's account, to get to their company accounts. So it's all a chain, and that's all social engineering. So social engineering is really a big, big subject, and it ties into a lot of things. And basically, the basic thing for social engineering is to understand is they're collecting every piece of data on you to know what you do to get into your account. And it's really kind of a weird thing. I've mentioned in the other videos about when you post on, I went to a birthday party and I had Frank and Bob and Susie there from work. That is social engineering information. Because now that tells anybody who's looking at that business, Frank, Bobby, and Susie, all work at this business with you. So that's 5 people they can pinpoint at this business. Then there's photos that you posted of who Frank is, who Susie is, And if you don't have that secure and Frank and Susie have their information secure or have very little of it out there in social media, you actually give out that information about these people. I know it's kind of a scary thing to bring up, but that's the way the world is right now. That is what the social engineering is. And it's something I really thought I need to bring to light because I know I mentioned it a couple times in other videos, but you can be social engineered by not having any of your personal data put on your accounts. It could be on other people's accounts. Your friends posting everything and everything else. So I know a lot of people just kind of post a lot of stuff and share a lot of stuff. And it was kind of one of the things in a past job where they didn't allow any photos around because certain people got in trouble because someone took a picture of something or a certain area and somebody was in the picture that wasn't supposed to be there. So you always have those issues. You're out in public, people can take pictures at any time. You can't, well, the laws are kind of changed. You used to say you can't really do that. I don't want my picture taken. Oh, now you're out in public and it's pretty much public and you pretty much, I think, lost all rights to that. So there's a lot of data out there. There's a lot of information out there. Now everybody has cell phones. Everybody's taking pictures, taking videos, taking a lot of stuff. And understanding the security side, that's why this is really part of the security, is to make sure all that data is secure and safe. I know it's just a photo or it's just a video, but like, you go to your grandkids' soccer games, you film the soccer game. You don't think too much of that. And in the old days, it was nothing. It was nothing that would really, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. Nowadays, you kind of have to rethink it. Because of all this social engineering that's going on, yeah, what you did is not wrong. What anybody did is not wrong. You have 15 people filming, 20 people, 100 people filming a soccer game. But what are other people seeing in that video? And a lot of times they'll tell you in social, tag us in this event, tag this, tag that, because it links to their event to help them promote their stuff, their events, their concerts, their stuff. But it also makes it a lot easier for someone who wants to social engineer some of the stuff to find a lot of this stuff, to tie in a lot of these things. Because now Mark Smith was there filming a game, and Susie Margaret and Frank Bob was all there filming the same thing, and they all hashtagged it together, so it put all those videos together in a certain location where they can figure out who was all there. So whose kids or grandkids are playing? That's how you could social engineer a email about, hey, you need to access this because of the soccer game is canceled or been moved. You need to log in to some random site you just get an email on. And they wonder, well, how did they get my information and how did they... Well, that's how they get the information. So it's kind of a weird subject, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to get spooked and scared on this. Really, there's not a whole lot you can do. But be aware of it. That is why, again, email and other things have become such a malicious, vicious, horrible thing nowadays. Knowing your security, knowing that you're following best practices on a lot of this will help you neglect some of the problems that are out there. Well, I guess not neglect is not the right word, but to navigate through them and to understand what social engineering actually is, and to make sure that you lock down and you say, this is private information. Only friends can see this. Facebook, I have some people I know that pretty much accept anybody as a friend. You go on there and you can look, and you get people sending you requests and stuff. People, I question some of this, where I mentioned my site's not a shake your butt site. You can go on there and see these, go on to anything nowadays, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and all they're doing is shaking their butt, low cut shirts, who is that person? Why are they Are they trying to make money off of this? What is their motive? A lot of people are watching this type of stuff. As being a YouTuber, knowing this, and you subscribe to this because look at her, she's young, look, she's 18 years old, shaking her butt, and you subscribe so you can watch them all. Guess what? That person just knows your name, all your social media, because you subscribe to them. Who is that person? Who is actually posting those videos? These might be videos pulling off of someone else's site, cloned over, posted, and then you subscribe to it. There's your social engineering. It could be anything. I don't want to just say shaking your butt videos. It could be a YouTuber doing computer videos like I am. You subscribe to it. Who is that person? If it's someone that has 2 or 3 videos and that's it, you might want to consider holding off and making sure. I've done videos for 3 years. You can see every week I've got a video. Am I legit? Yeah, I'm legit. So you might want to look at a little bit more in depth of who you're actually subscribing to. I know in the old days, I used to have a lot of problems with my Facebook. I've mentioned that before. My Facebook would get taken over probably once a month. Because I was into gaming stuff, playing games. Hey, subscribe to this channel, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, my Facebook got all messed up. I'm 99% sure it's because I was subscribing to these channels and subscribing to stuff. So I recommend to people, don't subscribe to anything on there unless you absolutely know. Why are you even going to subscribe to it? And there's the good and the bad, and this gets back into all of this social media and all of this stuff that people can collect all this data, this engineering of data. And social engineering is a big subject. It's not down to one little thing. Could be a lot of ways they can get little bits of information. So it's kind of weird, and I mention this a lot in a lot of other videos, little bits and little bits and little bits. And this year, with it being security-wise, I really wanted to hammer down on what social engineering actually is, because you'll hear this term a lot, and then they'll tell you, oh, it's social engineered because of this. Well, that's not all. Social engineering is a huge category. That is basically how all ransomware, all spam, all malicious emails, everything are kind of designed, is off of this. You get emails, free solar in your area, click up. Well, why are they sending you that? That is basically social engineering. Because they know the government passed all of this stuff to help you with solar. They know everybody's pushing, buy solar, you can save money on energy. You can save money on this. You can do this. You can do that. Oh, it's free. You'll hear, it's free. It's free. It's free. This is all social engineering. So, all of these things were social engineered. You get emails. Oh, it's now free in Arizona. Oh, it's now free for you in New Mexico. Oh, just enter your zip code. It's kind of weird, ain't it? A lot of these are social engineered. Now, social engineering is not only for negative. I brought up solar. There is legitimate solar companies. There is legitimate businesses reaching out to you, and it's going to be social engineered. They can find you on Facebook. You don't think casinos are social engineering? If you're posting, hey, I was out and I just won, $2,000 at, I don't know, I can't think of any casino names right now, but let's say it's San Diego. At this casino, Harrah's, or, something of that sort. You don't think another casino is going to see that post and go, hey, there's someone we should market to. You were just at a casino because you posted it. So that is social engineered. So that is kind of the catch-22, because not only is it good and bad that comes from it, but now you can end up getting more spam and more junk mail because of what you post, because people can see it. Companies can analyze it. When you go in for job interviews and stuff, they have companies that actually will review all your social media and all of those stuff. They'll Google you. They'll look you up. That's social engineering. Figure out, are you posting every weekend you go out and get drunk with your buddies? Well, maybe that's not someone you want to have working for you that you know that's going to go out and get drunk every weekend. That is considered pretty much a social engineering. That's what a lot of businesses are doing. They go out and look to see what you're doing. That's how they know. Oh, should we market power tools to him? Is he out fixing stuff? Is he doing roofing on the side? Is he... Because you're posting all of this stuff. So it's not only bad. So I wanted to go through and make sure I had explained what all of this actually means. The social engineering. And to understand, it's not only for a negative. It can actually, it can be used for a positive purpose that can be pretty negative. Because really, yes, I have a YouTube channel. Yes, I deal with computer stuff. But do I want 500 emails a day about network cables? Buy my network cable. Buy Cat 6 over Cat 7. Buy Cat 7 over Cat 8. And I don't really want all of that. Network switches. Do I really want to have hundreds of emails coming in over 100 gig, terabyte, 10 terabyte switches and routers? No, I don't need all of that. But companies could use all of this YouTube information to market against me. And that would be social engineered marketing. Social engineering covers a lot. It's social engineered / whatever. It could be ransomwaring, it could be phishing, it could be targeted spear phishing towards someone that I work with, or a business, or an organization, or even a company. Like I showed a mouse pad. It could be a social engineering against that company, because now I mentioned it on my YouTube and showed it. So it could actually be targeted towards a company because of something I've shown. Just those little bits of information all add up. So it's interesting to understand what social engineering actually is. And because I'm sure during this year, I'm going to mention this term a lot. Because that's what actually pretty much originates every kind of attack. Because why would you write scripting or write something, spend hours on working on something, and not know if anybody's going to respond to it? You will do social engineering. You will do your research. Your homework is all the same as social engineering to figure out, is this worth my time? Do I use this word over that word? Do I use this phrase over that phrase? Do I use a question mark, a period, a slash? All these variables. Do I do it all in caps? Make it sound like it's very important. It's very much social engineered. that will determine how people respond to that. How you talk, how you write, how you do a lot of things is important, because if somebody wants to act as you, they will find out how you do things. Especially like today, in today's age. They already talked about virtual intelligence, virtual stuff, writing music, writing essays for schools, writing school projects. I guess there was some musical song that they put in two artists and they made some kind of song with this. This is what basically is the same thing. It's learning your habits and learning how you are and learning a lot about you so that they can pretty much act like they are you. Also, social engineering. So it's kind of a weird word, category, definition, because it is a word that I would consider has multiple definitions, like most words in a dictionary where it'll have 2 or 3 different terms. And of course, in the computer field, there's a lot of words that have different definitions for different things for the same word. So this is where I thought it was kind of confusing, not really realizing how much social engineering everything is. There's a lot of social engineering and a lot of different things, and to be aware of what social engineering is. Again, like I said, in these next few videos, I'm sure I'm going to mention social engineering quite a bit. I know the next video I'm going to be doing, I'm going to mention this. So let me wrap this one up. Thank everybody for watching. And again, subscribe, hit the bell. It'll save you some headaches.